Article 430.32 C7 of the 2002 National Electrical Code addresses the requirements for cord and plug disconnects for single-phase motors not over 1 horsepower. Specifically, if a single-phase motor rated at 1 horsepower or less is equipped with a cord and plug connection, the plug shall be provided with not more than 2 blades. This requirement is in place to ensure electrical safety and to prevent overloading circuits. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, serves as the benchmark for safe electrical design, installation, and inspection to protect people and property from electrical hazards. It is important to adhere to these codes to ensure compliance and to prevent potential risks. The code is updated periodically to reflect advancements in technology and to address emerging safety concerns. When dealing with electrical installations, particularly those involving motors, it is crucial to consult the most recent edition of the NEC and to follow the guidelines provided. Understanding the specific requirements for motor disconnects is essential for electrical professionals and anyone involved in electrical work. Motors, by their nature, can draw significant amounts of current, especially during startup. This inrush current can overload circuits if not properly protected. Disconnects provide a means to safely interrupt the electrical supply to the motor for maintenance or in the event of a fault. Cord and plug connections offer a convenient way to connect and disconnect motors, but they must be properly sized and configured to ensure safety. The NEC specifies the types of cords and plugs that are permitted for different motor sizes and voltages. It also outlines the requirements for grounding and overcurrent protection. In the case of single-phase motors rated at 1 horsepower or less, the NEC allows for the use of a cord and plug connection, provided that the plug has no more than 2 blades. This limitation is intended to prevent the use of plugs that are designed for higher current applications. By restricting the number of blades, the NEC ensures that the plug is appropriately sized for the motor's electrical requirements. It is important to note that the NEC also contains requirements for the type of receptacle that is used with the cord and plug. The receptacle must be rated for the voltage and current of the motor and must be properly grounded. Improper grounding can create a shock hazard and can also damage the motor. When installing a cord and plug connection for a motor, it is important to carefully select the appropriate components and to follow the manufacturer's instructions. The cord must be of the correct gauge and type for the motor's current draw. The plug and receptacle must be compatible and must be properly wired. It is also important to ensure that the cord is not subjected to excessive strain or abrasion. This can damage the cord and create a safety hazard. In addition to the NEC requirements, it is also important to follow any local codes or regulations that may apply. These codes may have additional requirements for motor disconnects. It is always best to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the installation is safe and compliant. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions. Always disconnect the power before working on electrical equipment. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. They have the knowledge and experience to perform the work safely and correctly. The NEC is a comprehensive document that covers a wide range of electrical topics. It is important to stay up to date on the latest edition of the code and to understand the requirements that apply to your specific work. The NEC is available for purchase from the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. It is also available online through various subscription services. In addition to the NEC, there are other resources available that can help you understand motor disconnect requirements. These resources include textbooks, training courses, and online forums. By taking the time to learn about motor disconnects, you can help ensure the safety of yourself and others. Remember that electrical safety is paramount, and it is always better to err on the side of caution. If you have any doubts about your ability to perform electrical work safely, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician. They can provide you with the guidance and assistance that you need to complete the job safely and correctly. Understanding the NEC requirements for motor disconnects is an essential part of electrical safety. By following the code and taking appropriate precautions, you can help prevent electrical hazards and ensure the safe operation of electrical equipment. Now, let's delve into some of the specific considerations when applying Article 430.32. C. Defin. Firstly, it's crucial to accurately determine the horsepower rating of the motor. This rating is typically found on the motor's nameplate. If the motor is rated at 1 horsepower or less, and it's a single-phase motor, then the cord and plug connection falls under the purview of this section. Secondly, the requirement for a plug with no more than 2 blades is quite specific. This typically means a standard 2-prong plug, which includes a hot and a neutral conductor. There is no provision for a separate grounding conductor in this particular instance, which is something to be aware of. Thirdly, consider the application of this rule. It's primarily intended for smaller, portable motors that are commonly found in household appliances, tools, and equipment. These motors often have a pre-attached cord and plug for ease of use and portability. Fourthly, it's important to understand the overcurrent protection requirements for these motors. While Article 430.32 C.7 addresses the cord and plug connection, it doesn't negate the need for proper overcurrent protection. Typically, the branch circuit supplying the motor will be protected by a circuit breaker or fuse. The size of this overcurrent device should be appropriate for the motor's full load current rating and in accordance with other applicable sections of Article 430. Fifthly, always refer to the specific language of the 2002 NEC for the precise wording of the requirements. Code interpretations can vary, and it's essential to have a clear understanding of the code's intent. Consulting with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer can also be helpful in complex situations. Sixthly, it's worth noting that the NEC has evolved since 2002. While the fundamental principles remain the same, there may be updates or revisions to the code that affect the application of this rule. Therefore, it's always recommended to consult the latest edition of the NEC for the most current requirements. Seventhly, consider the environment in which the motor is being used. If the motor is located in a wet or damp location, additional precautions may be necessary to protect against electrical shock. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, may be required in certain situations to provide enhanced safety. Eighthly, pay attention to the cord's ampacity rating. The cord must be sized appropriately to carry the motor's full load current without overheating. Refer to NEC Table 400.5. For guidance on cord ampacity ratings. Ninthly, ensure that the plug and receptacle are properly matched. Using mismatched plugs and receptacles can create a loose connection, which can lead to overheating and potential fire hazards. Tenthly, regularly inspect the cord and plug for any signs of damage. Cracks, cuts, or frayed wires can create a safety hazard and should be repaired or replaced immediately. 11thly, when replacing a cord and plug, use components that are of the same type and rating as the original equipment. This will help ensure that the installation remains compliant with the NEC. 12thly, never attempt to modify a cord or plug in any way. This can compromise the safety of the installation and create a potential hazard. 13thly, be aware of the limitations of cord and plug connections. They are not suitable for all motor applications, particularly those involving large motors or high current circuits. In such cases, a hardwired connection may be required. 14thly, consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about motor disconnect requirements. They can provide you with expert advice and ensure that the installation is safe and compliant. 15thly, remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following the NEC and taking appropriate precautions, you can help prevent electrical accidents and protect yourself and others from harm. 16thly, the 2002 NEC, while not the most current edition, still provides a valuable foundation for understanding electrical safety principles. Many of the fundamental requirements remain unchanged in subsequent editions. 17thly, when working with electrical equipment, always disconnect the power source before performing any maintenance or repairs. This will help prevent accidental electrical shock. 18thly, use insulated tools when working with electrical equipment. This will provide an additional layer of protection against electrical shock. 19thly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves, when working with electrical equipment. This will help protect you from potential hazards. 20thly, be aware of the potential hazards associated with electricity, such as electrical shock, arc flash, and arc blast. These hazards can cause serious injury or death. 21stly, never work on electrical equipment when you are tired or distracted. This can increase the risk of making a mistake. 22ndly, if you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. They have the knowledge and experience to perform the work safely and correctly. 23rdly, always follow the manufacturer's instructions when installing or using electrical equipment. This will help ensure that the equipment is used safely and effectively. 24thly, keep electrical equipment clean and free of debris. This will help prevent overheating and other problems. 25thly, regularly inspect electrical equipment for any signs of damage. Replace any damaged equipment immediately. 26thly, never overload electrical circuits. This can cause overheating and potential fire hazards. 27thly, use surge protectors to protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage spikes. 28thly, be aware of the location of all electrical panels and disconnects. This will allow you to quickly shut off the power in the event of an emergency. 29thly, keep electrical panels and disconnects clear of obstructions. This will ensure that they are easily accessible in an emergency. 30thly, educate yourself and others about electrical safety. This will help prevent electrical accidents and save lives. While this specifically addresses the 2002 NEC and single-phase motors up to 1 horsepower, the broader principles of electrical safety and code compliance are universally applicable. Always prioritize safety and seek qualified assistance when dealing with electrical installations.